Remember the 60k video, how I'm well on my way from turning 60 grand into a 10 million pound property portfolio. Now, if you make bad decisions or if you're extremely unlucky, then the big catch is going to be that the deal sourcer hasn't done his numbers correctly or lied about the numbers. So when you purchase your BRRRR deal, you're going to have way too much money left in the deal in order to recycle your money. But providing you make good choices up until now and providing you understand the video from yesterday, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can make sure you can recycle your cash forever. Bearing in mind, this is just one part of this strategy. There are two other ways which my investors get to use where I can recycle their money. And the good news about that is we don't have to wait for this period where your money's basically not doing much. This is how you can make sure that no matter what, even if you're not doing all money out deals, you can carry on recycling your cash without putting any more money into the investment pot. Let's do it. In order for you to build a property portfolio, you can't just wait around for the perfect property to come up. You find one that is extremely good. So what do I mean by that? I mean that when we first talked about the BRRRR strategy, in an ideal world, your £150,000 is 75% exactly. That's all the cost. £150,000 is exactly what the bank's going to give you. But more often than not, because we don't want to wait another 6 months for this perfect property, we want to get the ball rolling. Your total cost might add up, say, to 153. You can see down the bottom here. Repeat the process as mentioned with the BRRRR strategy, and then on the second property it might add up to, let's just say, 161. These are all examples. And then the third property, it might add up to 155, where you just can't get the cost down any further. So you've got two options. You either take it whilst it's there, because it's still an amazing deal. Basically, if you add this up, like that property there, 153, means you purchased the property for £3,000 all in, right? That property there means you've purchased the property 161 at £11,000. This third property means you purchased the property for £5,000. These aren't bad deals, okay? But because we want to recycle our money, all of this will add up. When you generally do this 3, 4 or 5 times, you'll get to a point where you've had 5 grand here, what's left in the kitty, you know, it's there in equity, but you haven't got it in your pocket to reinvest. And then, or there's like 11 grand there, 3 grand there. So what you do at that stage is you flip. If you don't know what a flip means, it basically means you do it up and you sell it, which I mentioned you shouldn't do. However, there is a big difference. We do need to sell the property quickly. Now, the only thing pretty much that I can't guarantee is how fast we'll sell a property. Imagine we don't know when someone's going to knock on the door. Look, as mentioned in the green, we want to bring your investment pot back up to £150,000, which was the original pot you had. That will give you the extra money back in your pot, and that normally takes place between the 4th and the 5th BRRRR that you do, and then you're going to carry on again, right? So you've got your first 3 properties, done a flip, then you do number 4, number 5, number 6, and then you might do a flip again, something like that. That's the only catch. There's a lot of variables that go into this, as mentioned, but that's my job. That's what I've done and a lot of training for, and I've got a lot of time in the saddle. So I'm going to jump the gun with the next video, and we're going to talk about a hidden refurb cost, because it was only on a Zoom call that I did for another property trainer teaching his students how to do the BRRRR, where I talked about my very first deal. And it wasn't until the Zoom call that I realized how many mistakes I made, and there was a lot of hidden costs. So I've made this video, and it's at least going to give you some foundation of the type of things you need to do on a property viewing.